I kind of consider, obviously photography is an art form. To me, it's a little bit different than other art forms like painting, drawing, pottery, and so forth. And I've done some painting in the past as well. Art in any form, I think, is just an expression by the artist of his or her vision, and putting that vision into a visual form.
It opens your eyes to the beauty. That's the thing about being an artist that people don't realize, is that you see what's around you, and you're looking at the trees and how they're shaped and the beautiful colors, and you're looking at the flowers or the lay of the land or anything. Anything is looked at from a different perspective once you've been an artist for a little while. It doesn't take all that long,
You don't do it for the pay, either at professional or school. It's a passion. You do it because it's what just makes you feel alive. I feel alive when I'm in theater, in the world of the play, working with the actor's energy, working with the energy. It is a world apart from reality. When you're this close to production and you step in here, there's a vibe, there's an energy, and it's like riding a wave, and it's fun.
It's about capturing imagery around, Russellville and the River Valley, and just sharing that with everyone else.
I've got great friends that are artists. We're a close-knit group, and I enjoy that part, but I would think that you would find that if you're an artist anywhere you are. So I don't know that it makes a difference. I mean, I'm happy that I'm in Russellville. I love Russellville and everything about it. But being an artist, I don't know that it really matters where you are.
It means to constantly put yourself in check and balance and to explore your content and make sure that you're relaying the message that will be accepted by the community without taking away from the message. Theater is a reflection of society. Theater is a mirror that is held up to say to society, here is what you are doing and representing. Do you like what you see?
You know, there's some of these places that I've been to and photographed are relatively easy to get to. Some of them, you know, it's a challenge to get to some of them. To me, it's a rewarding experience, and if you can come out of it with a nice picture, it's even more rewarding. I've had this shop here for a little over 2 years. My wife actually runs this shop here. My full-time job is I work for the city of Russellville. I'm actually the city engineer, and this was actually my engineering office prior to opening the photo gallery. Everything that we have in here, we've printed. We print the canvases and stretch those here. I mainly focus on landscape photography, but I do a little bit of portrait work on the weekends, and we have some events that we do in the alley here next to us, which is part of our property.
I get all kinds of encouragement from the girls I paint with, and from people who see what I do as far as being an artist, and as far as owning the gallery. It's a great thing to have that here in Russellville so that they can enjoy seeing art. I mean, I feel like I'm offering something to the community by having a place where they can come see good art. I consider it good art, I try to talk to people about artists here in Russellville that I know are really, really good artists. And I don't mean just painters, but in other types of visual art who maybe aren't known by the community. They need to know who they are because they're representing Russellville in a big way, to me, across the country. They're doing very well across the country, but people here in Russellville don't really even know who they are, which is, it's too bad, but that's the way it is. So I'm always talking about those artists that I know aren't maybe getting seen, or people don't know so much about them. This is my 5th year as a gallery owner. I've been not even living back in Russellville. I grew up here, but living back in Russellville 12 years. So at the time I started painting again when I moved back here, there were artists, but I didn't realize how many artists there are. Really, really good artists. The Art Walk helped, when the Art Walk started in downtown Russellville, that helped meeting a lot of people and seeing that, gee, you know. But in the last, since I've had the gallery, it's just amazing at the really great artists, you know, that Russellville has. That it's just a lot of them.
The fact that I get to express myself in such an amazing facility we have, and I love that I get to become so close to everyone that I'm working with. I've always loved music and theater. It's always been my passion, so I think it's amazing.
I'm flying. I'm flying. There's no sensation that's quite as sensational as flying. Fulfilling and high reputational, that's flying. It's inspirational and recreational, trying. Way up there in midair to be touching the sky.
As an artist, you gain an identity through the art you're performing in or the trade you perform in. And I think Russellville has a really cool pocket of culture in regards to artists. And we have really nice local musicians. And even as a talent, as an actor at Russellville High School, being a part of that group and that community of local artists is very poppin'. And I say that term lightly, but it's very intrusive, it's very vivid, and it's very supportive. So as a local artist who's acting in this play, you become family. And that art kind of merges over. And this is an art, this is a trait that's been performed over centuries. Back to Greece, back to Rome, this art form has united people, it's brought people together, but ultimately it's given humans a way to facilitate and to express feeling.
My daughter Ruby here is a very special girl indeed. And when she said she simply had to have one of them golden tickets there, see, we went nuts buying walk bars by the hundreds.
By the thousands, Daddy. By the tens of thousands.
Right you are, baby. I must have bought hundreds of thousands of walk bars. Me, I'm in the nut business. Peanuts, cashews, macadamias, Brazils, if it's nuts you want, we've got them. Rusty, raw, planter, fancy folks go nuts for our nuts. Check us out at www.we'renuts.com.
We get to show the whole community a side of creativity and art and this human experience, and we get to do that as high schoolers. So we get to show people of all ages, what it's like to do theater, different shows. We get to sing and dance, and that's like my favorite thing to do. So to be able to do that in this awesome facility and show everyone in Russellville what that's like is an awesome experience.
And now you suddenly decide to say hi?
George, she didn't say hi. She said flavor shifters.
I like being able to be seen as someone who entertains someone else. And I like also with the kids that we have in our shows, I like showing them that, yeah, this is fun. This is what you could do. We have wonderful programs that build up artists like us through our junior high and our high school and our classes. And it's really fun showing that through our community, through our performances.
Any hobbies?
Yeah! Food! I used to see food! Lots and lots of food! Yeah!
You know, the art galleries, one thing that I've been doing for them a lot is I'll actually photograph their artwork and then print reproductions of their artwork. I appreciate having any art or artists downtown. But as far as opposition, absolutely not. I mean, I've not had any. I think, in fact, just the opposite. Some of the downtown restaurants have thanked me for doing this thing in the alley and getting people downtown, because like I say, there's a little bit of crossover. I mean, people come down while they're downtown and go over and eat. One of the things that downtowns need to really thrive is they need retail, and we're a retail shop down here, and the switch I made over from a professional office to retail, is probably something that the majority of downtown would support. And I think we've got a nice mix right now in downtown, but what you don't want is, you don't want your whole downtown just to turn into professional offices.
Most people enjoy art. They like to look at it, even if they don't buy it, they like to look at it. And I also would like to encourage the young people. That's one thing in my head a lot, is encouraging the young, when they come up and they're just going through, young artists, to always, I just want them to not get discouraged and to be doing it, You don't have to make a living at it, but it's something, if you enjoy it, not to stop. So, yeah. I'd like to get maybe more young artists involved up here and show some of their work, and yeah. So that's one thing in the back of my brain.
Like again of tic-tac-toe.
We must cease this dilly-dally.
Shilly-shallying to and fro.
It's no mystery where we're going, unlike Edgar Allan Poe. Quite apart from our not knowing, it's the only way to go.
Performing arts is really difficult here sometimes. It's not all roses all the time. Case in point was Little Shop of Horrors. But in that show, there is an abusive relationship where the girlfriend is beat up by the boyfriend. In one of the exit scenes, he slapped her on the behind as she walked by. His character beats her up on the steady. So at the high school level, how do you portray this as a domineering, abusive boyfriend? And she's fighting her way through being an oppressed woman to being a woman who stands on her own and stands up for herself. That is a major storyline in that musical. I got slack about the slap. And my response was to see what was going on before that in the storyline, because she came on stage with a black eye. Where did that come from? She came on stage with her arm in a sling. Where did that come from? The slap on the butt is what we're getting hung up on, when in the bigger picture of this storyline, the character has already been beat up. So what could happen on stage that kind of gave you an insight to what was going on in the character's life, not the student's life, but in the character's life. And I think maybe right there is the challenge in theater, especially at the high school level, is getting the parents and the audience and the community to see beyond this kid on the stage to the character on the stage, and accepting the character in the story that is being told through the actor who happens to be so-and-so's daughter or so-and-so's son. That's a challenge at this level of theater. One show we did that was dealing with some pretty serious content was actually a one act that won at our state, and we took it all the way to nationals and performed it at an international thespian festival. Dealt with teen suicide, and the character committed suicide and went to a holding area. The character had to decide if they were going to go back to living or if they were going to pass on. And so all the characters in their lives were coming at them, making their case for this character to continue living. And the line in the play that got me in a little bit of trouble was the line, "Yes, your father's a bastard and he'll be a bastard when you go back, but it's your life, not his, and you have to fight for that." And I didn't edit it. We performed it as written. I got in trouble because it was questioned whether or not it was appropriate for a high school student to say that line. And is that the message I want to throw out to the community? The exact same day that I had that conversation with an administrator, a young man came up to me who was not part of the play process, but was in the high school and had seen us perform the play, to thank me for doing that play, because he had been contemplating suicide to get away from an abusive parent. And watching that play made him realize that his life was bigger than his situation in the current, and he just had to find a way to cope with his current to get to his life that he would be able to step into. And so that's the challenge, finding material that is acceptable on the norm, but yet also doing good and allowing students to explore meaningful messages. Because life isn't all roses, no matter how much we wish it was. And these kids are dealing with some heavy stuff. Why not let them deal with some of it in a safe manner on stage? And it's fun when you get into some of these shows, the material, you think it's musical comedy, it's fun and kicks and laughs, and it is, but a lot of these shows have some pretty heavy messages. But because we're kicking our heels high and singing a fun tune when we're delivering that message, sometimes that message goes right over the people's heads, and then it slaps them in the rear sometimes when they realize, oh, that's what it's all about. I mean, look at this message in Willy Wonka. This isn't an endorsement on modern day parenting by any stretch of the imagination. There's some finger shaking going on in this show. But it's done to the tune of an Oompa Loompa dance, and what's not fun about an Oompa Loompa? Well, to the community and to the district, thank you for this phenomenal facility. Trust me, we get how lucky we are to have this place to perform and act in and teach in. Our students are leaving here with experience that is top of the line high school theatrical experience, and walking into colleges and professional jobs so far ahead of other students. Our alumni who are studying theater in college come back all the time and just stand in the space, and oh, we miss this space because their colleges aren't as nice as this, a lot of them. We get that, and we are so appreciative of that. Thank you for letting us continue to challenge the boundaries of theatrical expression and bring to the students a safe, fun, enriching theater program for them to explore and grow as people.
I just enjoy doing it. I mean, I do it, and I'm fortunate to be able to do it.
This community's got a lot of really good artists. I know they're coming out of the woodworks all the time, and that's a good thing, you know.